been suggested classes daily as you people must be for your exams. Still, I'm bringing a revision class daily so that you may go through it for a while and may perform well and score 100% in your exam. So, questions related to political system is on my YouTube channel, and this is a revision of the topic. So far, in the first class of revision of the topic, we have done the chapter political system. In that, we had done development of the concept of political system, and I had discussed it in detail. Hopefully, you remember. And basically, this concept of political system is related to the concept of political science. Political science has basically two viewpoints. One is traditional viewpoint and one is modern viewpoint. Traditional viewpoint, which included only the study of government and state in its subject matter, is considered old way of studying political science. And political system developed from the modern viewpoint. Actually, after behavioral revolution that came in the study of political science in the beginning of this century, this concept of political system developed. Two books are Human Nature and Politics by Graham Wells and The Process of Government by Arthur Bentley. Actually, through these two books, writers try to prove that actual human behavior largely influences the functioning of political system, largely influence the functioning of political institution, political system. So it is very important to study both formal and informal organization that anyway influence the functioning of political institutions. So if you talk about the credit for making this viewpoint popular, it goes to David Easton, Laswell, Charles Merriam, Kathleen Alman Powell, Robert A. Dahl, and Morton A. Kaplan. If you talk about the meaning of political system, the word political system is referred to power and authority. Aristotle, the father of political science, regards political association as sovereign and inclusive association. Almond and Powell talks about political association as the having legitimate physical coercive power. So we can conclude that political is related to power and authority, and the organization can be known as political. System means the system is basically a whole which is made of many parts or many subsystems, right? So Alman and Powell says a system implies interdependent parts and boundaries of some kind between it and its environment. Oxford Dictionary has its own definition. It says, when we speak of political system, we include all interaction which affect the use of threat of legitimate power. Colin Cherry says system is a whole which is compounded of many parts. So if we go through these definitions and try to interpret it, we come to various characteristics of system. So characteristics of political system. are a system is comprised of different parts. Different parts of the system are interdependent. A system has its own boundaries. A system has subsystems. Every system has the feature of wholeness and has the ability to work as a unit. So these are characteristics of system. Concluding, we can say that political system, right, or is the title of political system can be given to those organizations whose orders are obeyed because of the fear of power and authority or fear of punishment, being punished, and those punishment are legal binding, or there is power of law behind those punishments. So state is a political system because of every member of it, because every member of it is bound by order. Otherwise, there will be deprivations, punishment, right? So this is how we define uh, political system. Hopefully, you understood what political system is. We can do it separately. Separately, how? See, political is related to power, rule, and authority. An organization possessing these attributes can be known as political. An organization that has power, rule, and authority is political, whereas system is a whole component of many parts, which has characteristics of it has different parts, interdependency, ability to influence each other, has on boundaries, has subsystems, has feature of wholeness, and work as a unit. So, after knowing the meaning of political separate and system separate, we can say that political and system, we come to the conclusion that political system is that organization or institution whose orders are obeyed because of the fear of power, rule, and authority, right? So, state is a political system whose orders are binding. In definition of political system, keeping in view the distinctive meaning of the words political and system, it becomes clear that an organization, the order of which are compiled with due to the threat of authority. Complied is not compiled, it's complied. मतलब order माना जाता है किसकी वजह से threat of authority के that can be called political system. So there are different definitions of political system. Definition of Robert Dahl and David Easton is quite good. You should go through these two definitions. Robert Dahl says political system is any persistent pattern of human relationship that involves to a significant extent power, rule, and authority. Whereas David Easton says political system is set of interaction abstracted from the totality of social behavior through which the authority values are allocated for society. So these definitions you should learn. Right? Now, characteristics of political system. It is persistent pattern of human relationship. Right? Individuals are actors in it, and they play their own role, and this way they are persistent in their behavior. This is how it is known as persistent pattern of human relationship. Use of legitimate force. It uses legitimate force means legal force that made people to obey it. So every political system is vested with legitimate, or that makes decision binding on the people. Comprehensiveness. Comprehensiveness means wideness, Vishaka, right? According to Alman and Powell, comprehensiveness is one of the essential ingredients of the system. It doesn't include only government structures, right? like legislature, executive, and judiciary, but non-formal organizations also, which in any form influence the political process. Universality is the next point, next characteristic. Right? It means that every society has a political system, backward, new, civilized, uncivilized, all kind of society has it. So it is universal. यानी कि political system क्या है? Universal है. Universality of political culture. Universality of political culture. I see people keep on going and coming to the class, so you may comment also if you wish to comment, right? And I'm doing my duty because I have decided I'll be taking this 4:30 class, right? And I won't disturb you for in your exam. It is your wish entirely to attend. You will get your lecture. So universality of political structures. Universality means whatever may the system be, there would be certainly the structure. Irrespective of political system, every political system has structures. What is structure basically? Through which the political system works. For example, legislature, executive, and judiciary, all kind of political system has these structures. But modern viewpoints include non-formal groups also in this. The political structure which directly or indirectly influence the functioning of political system is included in it. So there is everywhere there are these structures. Structure of these are known as the political structure of political system. They can be formal, as formal are legislature, executive, and judiciary, and that includes political parties, right? Let's move to the next point, universality of political functions. If you talk about universality of political functions, every political system performs certain functions, right? Every political system has its capabilities, its drawbacks, right? So in modern sense, we say political system convert inputs into outputs. So input function and output functions are considered the functions of political system. Subsystem and their dependence. Every political system is a blend of numerous subsystems. Right? The way our body is a system, it has several subsystems like excretory system, articulatory system, skeletal system, muscular system, nervous system. Same way, a political system has its own sub. For example, if the people elect capable legislators, the executive will naturally become efficient and responsible. So there is subsystem who chooses executive, right? Judiciary, and then executive is chosen after that. So Ullman and Powell says, by interdependence, we mean that when the properties of one component is in a system change, all other components and the system as a whole are affected. कोई बदलाव जो होगा एक स्ट्रक्चर में दूसरे स्ट्रक्चर में बदलाव आएगा, किसी एक सब सिस्टम में बदलाव आएगा तो दूसरे में आएगा. Existence of boundaries. Actually, boundaries are there to distinguish one system from another system. For example, economic system, social system, right, religious system, political system has a boundary with all these systems. All these systems have its own, but they are intermingled also, right? So these boundaries are to the function rather than territorial, and these keep on changing. The boundaries of political system are subject to relatively large functions, right? So boundaries exist. Adaptability. Adaptability means अनुकूल करना अपने आप को. As the time change, with the passage of time, every political system has to adapt itself with the change. So when the situation change, it adapts itself. During emergency, right? Nature of political system become, different. During normal condition it becomes different, right? So if you take example of India during emergency, right, it had transformed itself into a different, but when emergency ended, it again underwent a change, and political system again become different and normal. Multifunctionality of political structure is another point. Multifunctionality means one structure has to perform many. Example, legislature makes law as and along with that it elects executive also, it keeps check on executives also, right? So legislature has to perform many function, and executive at the same time are legislators also and administrators also. Mix Mixed character of political system. Mixed character of political system is the next point, right? Generally what happens, one with the time system change, it adopts and it sheds something. So with this advent of the democratic age, all political system have something in common. At the same time, they have also something. They have also from their past. For example, in India, we have parliamentary form of government here, but at the same time we have Panchayati Raj also in villages, right, and rural areas. So it is known as the mixed character of political system. Next is environment and its impact on political system. Now there are two kinds of environment basically that impacts upon the political system, that influences political system. They are intra-societal environment and extra-societal environment. Intra-societal environments is related to political, economic, social, cultural, religious, whereas extra-social environment, international organization, international laws, international politics, and other system. So these are 12 characteristics of political system. Hopefully you liked the lesson, right? I think this much is enough, right? We'll see you in the next class, right? If any yes, one student is there or whoever is there, if you can ask right now, or otherwise I'm going to end the class. In the next class we will do of political system according to David Easton. Next class tomorrow. Okay. Yes, bache, you're there. You wanna ask anything, or should I say goodbye to you? Okay. Answer. So I'm going to end the class here. Today we did concept of political system, the meaning of political system, and the characteristics of political system. See you then tomorrow. Till then, take care. Goodbye.